No, sir, because Soma already introduced you, and also definitely 2-3 minutes are there.
Okay.
So I'm just going to broadcast it.
Fine.
I think we are live.
Yes. I'm just checking it on mobile. Yes, well, and sir, as you know, not only India, others countries also going to attend this webinar. So maybe their rules is little bit different, but the basic essence will be the same. So we try to address their questions also. Okay, okay. Okay, Shoma, should we start? You have everything, no?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks to joining 61 international webinar in Bioingene platform. We're very happy. Today we have a very special guest because I know him since the last 1 and 2 years, and I appreciate his way of delivery and passion to the IPR related topics. And whenever I have some questions, I just text him and he replied as soon as that what is the actual scenario on that. So as you all know, the intellectual property right is a very important thing to protect your right, to protect your concept. And for a biologist or a scientist is a things we have to learn because nations demand it and world demand it in that way. So he is the best person I know on that topic, doing the same things last since few years. Give us many talk, give many lectures, many classes on IPR related topics. So let's start today's webinar. We will try to focus all the basic fundamentals of IPR related, obviously including the all things copyright, patent, GI tag, everything. And I already mentioned him that it is a plant science based platform, so we try to give some examples and understand some examples on plant science basis. Please put your questions on YouTube chat box. I will collect all the questions, select few of them, and go for the question answer round. I will ask all the questions. So whenever you have a questions, just put into your chat box. Please enable your chat box because here I put the feedback link, which is also the e-certificate application link, and you need to submit it on time. And during the end of webinar, I will put it here. So don't bother about the link. I will definitely put it here. This link is also available for recording. So in the future, if you miss something, you can revisit this particular link and review this particular webinar. I request Soma to introduce a little bit Bioingene and our speakers for today's webinar on IPR. Over to you, Soma.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Bioingene webinar. Bioingene is a non-profit organization created to promote plant research worldwide. Shubho, I'm
Yes.
just holding on. Are you recording this?
Right now. Okay.
Yeah, I thought so. You forgot to record. I'll start over.
No issues. Okay.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Bioingene webinar. Bioingene is a non-profit organization created to promote plant research worldwide. This is the platform from which plant scientists and many scientists can present their research to the world. We hope future scientists can gain perspective and inspiration by listening to the esteemed researchers talk about their scientific accomplishments, their works, their thoughts on building the future of sciences. We are grateful to our guest speaker to have accepted our invitation to share his insights with us on the topic of IPR. We are also thankful to you, the viewers of our Bioingene family, for your interest in Bioingene webinars, your constant support and appreciation. We have received a huge response through the registrations for today's webinar. You can register for more such webinars through our website, bioingene.com, and through our social media pages. You are live viewing this webinar and you can watch it again later on the Bioingene YouTube channel. Please remember to subscribe so that you don't miss out on any of our live events. As Dr. Mujumdar has already said, you can attend, after attending today's talk, you can apply for a certificate of participation via the feedback link, which will be provided in the YouTube chat after the presentation. Please type in your question related to today's talk in the YouTube chat box for the Q&A session. So the topic for today's webinar is very different today. It's intellectual property rights, patents, designs, trademarks, GI, copyrights, and more by Dr. T. Pavan Kumar. Dr. T. Pavan Kumar is currently working as a senior scientist in the Department of R&D Planning and Business Development at CSIR Institute of Minerals and Materials Technology, or IMMT, Bhubaneswar, India. He obtained his BSc Chemistry in 2002 with College First and MSc Organic Chemistry in 2004 from Osmania University, Hyderabad, and secured University First with 4 gold medals. He pursued his PhD work in chemistry at CSIR IICT as CSIR JRF SRF and received PhD degree from Osmania University, Hyderabad in 2011. He holds PGDPL Patent Law from NAL SAR Nalsar, Hyderabad, and several certifications from WIPO. He was a visiting fellow, a postdoc at NDSU USA in 2015 and also associated with NRDC New Delhi as manager IPNTT in 2016 and 2017. Before joining CSIR IMMT, he was an assistant professor at TGASC Puducherry. His research interests include organic chemistry, asymmetric synthesis, process chemistry, medicinal chemistry, small molecules chemistry, green chemistry, and so much more. He is the recipient of many awards and national and international fellowships. He has vast experience in intellectual property patents and has about 18 patents to his credit. We are very happy that he could join us today. Dr. Kumar, thank you in advance for giving us this opportunity and the resources to learn. This virtual podium is all yours now. You can start whenever you're ready, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Soma. Thank you very much for your detailed introduction. And I also thank Dr. Shivabrata. And both of you are very instrumental in conducting several programs. I know Bioingene is doing very well. I used to get several program informations. Earlier, I used to feel what is this all about initially before I met Shivabrata. So once I met him, then he told about the efforts, and then I thought I should also support you to the extent possible. And with that connect, today he could invite me to this program. And I'm also happy to notice that you could get a huge participation for your programs. Not only for this program, in general, your programs are attracting a huge number of participations. So really, we appreciate you all, and IMMT would be happy to support you in all means. And in specific, I would always be there with you in your efforts. So thank you once again. And now I just share the screen. Maybe what I'll do is I'll switch off my video. Like if there is any kind of technical glitch that may create unnecessary issue.
Well, you're comfortable with.
No problem, sir.
Okay. So then I'll share my screen.
Yes, sir. Your screen is visible.
It is in presentation mode, right?
Yes.
Is it?
Yes.
No.
No?
No, I think, sir, it can be just.
I made it. Maybe what I'll do is I'll stop and share it again.
Okay, sir.
Okay. One second. Is it?
No, sir. No. But it's okay. If you,
I think now it will definitely come. Nothing
okay.
to.
Okay, sir.
Now it should be.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Perfect.
So good morning, everyone. And today I'll be talking to you on intellectual property rights in general. And maybe today's presentation would be more relevant to the people from academic and research, also to the industry people, if there are any. And I'll be covering almost all the different types of IPRs, the background, the basis, as well as the importance and impact. So as I conduct this session, whenever you feel of raising any queries, you can please put them in the chat box. Maybe we can take them at the end of the session. And if some kind of queries are very much relevant to take right at the point of the time, we can also take them. I have no issues. So in India, the month of July has been declared as National Intellectual Property Festival. It is also referred as Rashtriya Bauddhik Sampada Mahotsav, where government itself has given a call to celebrate IP festival, and CSR has been given responsibility of bringing in awareness. I think Shubhrata, I am getting some resound. I don't know.
Yes, sir. Sometimes. Do you have put on the YouTube also? If it is, then just mute the YouTube on your browser.
I have not put on. I'll just check once. I have not, to my knowledge, I have not put on.
But your sound is sometimes good.
Yeah.
Right now, there is no problem.
Are you using any device like headphone or anything?
Maybe 1 second. I'll just a minute, okay?
No issue, sir. Take your time. And for the participation, there is an announcement. When you put your questions, please put by your real name, not the channel name. And if possible, after your name, put your country. We collect all your questions. So generally in YouTube, there is so many people with the channel name. So we can't understand the people from the channel name.
So is it okay now?
Yes, sir. Okay. Fine,
So,
sir.
As I was referring, in these lines, we could also celebrate from IMMT side, we could celebrate national intellectual property in a very grand manner. And being at Odisha, we all know that Odisha Puri Jagannath Rath Yatra is very famous. In similar lines, we thought, why can't we start a IP Rath? We titled it as CSR IP Rath. And the Yatra we conducted for about 15 days, going around different parts of Bhubaneswar, covering around places which are falling around 100-kilometer proximity from Bhubaneswar. And to our surprise, I must mention that, yes, we could sensitize about more than 90,000 people through this CSR IP Rath Yatra. And then apart from that, we could conduct about 51 programs on sensitization of IPRs, various programs at universities, colleges. So through that, we could sensitize about more than 24,000 people. And with this brief background on IP, like Dr. Soma and Dr. Shubhrata mentioned, yes, I have been into the practice of IP since long. But of course, basically, I'm a researcher by training. I got my education, training, working experience from all these institutes, both in terms of chemistry research as well as IPR. And by now, we could able to file about more than 43 patents, out of which 27 are already granted in different countries, including India, and several others are in pipeline. And we were so lucky that 4 of our initial patents, we could license them to Sun Pharma. And luckily, our institute, the institute where I was working earlier, CSR IICT, could receive about 5 crores as royalty towards first milestone payment. So with this kind of background in the hand, whenever I interact with any researcher or academician or any other in general, I always try to sensitize them on the aspects of IPR. And where I find some interest, I always try to put them into a real practice of IP. So I think, Shobhrata, if you remember correctly, the day when we were discussing about various aspects of IP and their integration with research, yes, the very first point that came into our mind is, yes, definitely now we both should contribute towards this activity.
Yes, sir.
And thank you very much for your spirit and your for your enthusiasm to take IP in your platform.
Yes, sir.
So now coming into the discussion, whenever you take up any activity, maybe scientific, maybe research, maybe academic, maybe industrial or any other, there is always a possibility of ending up with three things: a discovery or an invention or an innovation. Discovery we all know, but when someone asks us to define, we always get into a sort of confusion. So discovery is something which is already existing in the nature, but however, the person who could realize it and show it to the world for the first time gets the entire credit. Maybe the discovery of gravitation or the relative theory of relativity, theory of buoyancy by Archimedes. So all these are discoveries. And invention is something which is linked with problem solution approach. Once you find out a solution to address a problem, generally in the field of science and technology, that can be referred as an invention. And once you contribute to an invention, over the period of time, you might look for betterment, fine-tuning, improvement, sophistication. So all these may contribute towards innovation. So therefore, inventions and innovations do bring us some potential IPs in the form of patents, industrial designs, or know-hows, or we also refer them as trade secrets, and others. In general sense, discoveries may not directly bring us potential invention, potential IPs, but however, they form a basis for achieving more and more solutions which could be translated into patentable or potential IP outcomes. So therefore, while you start working, researching, or discovering something new, you should have a sense of looking into the process of integrating IP with the practice that you are currently involved. So therefore, creativity is all about thinking part, whereas innovation is all about doing part. We all are very efficient in thinking activity. As a society or as a culture, we are very efficient in thinking. If someone asks us to give some suggestions, we can give n number of suggestions. We'll also get n number of suggestions from others. When it comes to the part of doing, we also find so many reasons to escape or to get ourselves diverted. So therefore, it is only through doing activity we can contribute to more and more inventions or innovations. Technology and innovation is the basic component in the process of evolution as well as civilization of human life. If you look back into the entire process over the period of time, so much of technological advancement, large number of innovations were contributed. But please believe me, it is like a never-ending spiral. Today, in this era, we are experiencing the advanced stages of technologies and innovations. But at the same time, any era or any period of time in this process of civilization or human progress, each of those stages could experience the advanced stages of technology and innovation. 100 years back, whatever technology was there, that was the advanced one. Today, we have much more advanced version. After another 100 or 1,000 years, those generations might be experiencing even more advanced versions. So therefore, this is like a never-ending spiral. It will be always there as long as human life exists on this planet. Please look into this. It all started with the invention of a wheel. The very first introduction of the wheel is called as invention. But later on, so many improvements, so many changes have been taken place. Today, we are in more advanced stages. We are in the era of advanced wheels like alloy wheels, powered wheels, geared wheels. Similar is the case with the fire, even the communication systems. So therefore, in short, if we take an example of wheel, we can refer it to wheels to vehicle. Wheel to vehicle. Wheel is an invention, the first solution to the problem, whereas after the invention of the wheel, there were several additions, several improvements, sophistications, and changes that have been taken place so as to make our lives better and better. And we are in the era of vehicles. The entire path is referred as innovation path or technology path. And in each and every stage of this path, IP is already there as an integral part of its progress. So therefore, if you look into the history of mobile phones, until 1970s or early 1980s, there were no mobile phones at all. But then it started. This is the kind of phone that was available in 1982. Decade after decade, the structure, design, technology, the components started changing, started getting modified, improved, innovated. So now we are enjoying the era of smartphones and slim phones. At each and every stage of this improvement process or of this progress, IP is already there. How IP is there? Maybe in coming slides, we would try to realize the presence. So therefore, humans can think and create. Yes, there is no doubt at all. But at the same time, maybe plants, animals are also capable of thinking and creating something different. But the extent or the intensity with which we can think and create is unbeatable. That is how human being is referred as an advanced animal created by the nature. And this ability makes us a very unique creature by the nature. So therefore, there is a survey which says that each one of us is a born inventor. Irrespective of the place or the region or the tradition from which we belong, every human being is capable of generating about 60,000 to 80,000 thoughts per day. So that means our mind do not keep quiet. It always keeps working in one or other fashion. Though we are attending the session on IPR today here, but some part of our mind is also generating thoughts or making some ideas or thinking something else which is not relevant to our session. Yes, it happens. It happens to me. It happens to you. It is happening to each and everyone. This kind of potential we all do have. But the difference is whenever you feel that your idea or your thought is valuable, it can make some difference, it has got some potential to do something new, certainly you should identify, you should tap it, you should work on it to convert it into a useful product or process. If you don't do, someone else will definitely do it. And if you take the example of radio, we all know that Marconi is the inventor of radio. Believe me or not, the very initial works on radio concepts were developed in India. It is by Professor Jagadish Chandra Bose. He is the first person to work on those concepts. In spite of suggestions from his well-wishers, he could not take any IP over his work. Later on, after a few years, he was visiting Europe, where Marconi could meet him. They have interacted very well. And Marconi was also working in similar lines. It is not that Marconi has copied from J.C. Bose. Marconi was also working in similar lines. He could get more inputs from Jagadish Chandra Bose, and finally he could develop a full-fledged form of radio, and he could take an IP. He could file a patent. Because of which the entire credit has gone to him. Otherwise, J.C. Bose was the first person. It is the same Jagadish Chandra Bose who could realize the value of IP at a later stage, and he is not only a first Indian, he is the first Asian to obtain an American patent. So J.C. Bose, when he was not that much interested towards IP, we lost many things. Otherwise, by now, invention of radio was onto our name. And later on, he could realize the value of IP. He could emerge as the first Asian to get an American patent. So therefore, we should not neglect our ideas. We should not ignore our ideas. We should not bypass our ideas, which have got some potential. It is not that you should look into all ideas, only those ideas which have got some potential. The reason being, ideas just like that do not bring us anything. So just ideas do not have any impact. They just remain as ideas, as long as you convert or you put them into practice. Unless you put your idea into practice, you may not find much impact out of your idea. So here comes a cycle of activity. Through your ideas, which have got some potential, by adding some creativity, you should create something new. Maybe an invention, maybe an innovation. And as a society, we are very efficient in the creation part of activity. Once you create, then there are two possibilities. Either you protect or you don't protect. If you don't protect, your creation may be exploited by anyone. Sometimes you may not receive any benefit. Sometimes you may be totally ignored also. But once you opt for protecting your invention or your creation, you will get some rights because you are protecting your creation through intellectual property. Once you protect it, you will get some rights. Through those rights, you can go for a systematic exploitation. While exploiting your creation, having IP rights, you get a decent edge to make profits. Okay, so therefore, creation, protection, and exploitation, these three are the very, very essential steps of practice to be adopted and implemented in this era, the era which is referred as innovative era. The countries or the organizations or even the individuals who are efficient at practicing this cycle of activity could emerge as superpowers, or could emerge as successful organizations, or could emerge as successful personalities or successful people. So therefore, creation, protection, and exploitation. How it happens? Again, we need to look into the entire pathway. It starts with an idea. You need to develop a proof of concept, then make a prototype, then scale it up, then bring your product into the commercial scale. Then maybe if it is acceptable, if it satisfies the customers, your product may come into the market. So idea reaching to the market. But however, you need time, energy, people, money, so many things are required. And IP plays a significant role in each and every stage of this process. While you develop the concept, while you make the prototype, while you scale it up, while you go for commercial production, or while bringing your product into the market, at each and every stage, IP plays a significant role. But most of the academic and R&D institutes are typically oriented towards initial 1 or 2 stages of activities. Somehow, further activities are not realized in real practice. But all the brands, all the products that we are seeing in the market today are an outcome of the entire stages of activities that are depicted on this screen. So now comes why IP. We all know that IP plays a significant role. IP is there. IP is always there. But why? Why IP? In what way it shows a significance? with respect to academic and research practices? The answer is here. There are only very few countries, maybe about 10, 15 countries, which are referred as advanced economies. All others are rest of the world. By population wise, they are very small, but rest of the world is very huge. Publications wise, they are very large. Rest of the world is also doing quite good. But when you look into the patents, hardly we find any numbers for the rest of the world. There are some numbers, but from advanced economies, it is too huge. Only these advanced economies are dominating the entire globe by way of patents or by way of intellectual property in general. Why? The reason being, they could realize the value of IP at an early stage. Not only realize, they could also put it into practice. So therefore, IP plays a significant role. Again, when we look into scientific publications, India stands at number 3. Very good. We need to appreciate. But at the same time, we should also look into other roles or other countries along with their positions. China and US, they're always number 1 and 2 in terms of publications, in terms of technologies, in terms of IP, in terms of innovations, and many others. But there are some countries, especially countries like India, which find a decent position in publications, but when it goes into patents, again, we do not find such encouraging numbers or percentages. These are the 5 countries which are dominating the world with respect to patents. 85% of the patents worldwide are from these 5 countries: China, US, Japan, Korea, and Europe. All other countries are contributing to an extent of 15%. And these 5 countries are contributing to an extent of 85%. In that, China contributes to about 47%, US about 17 to 18%. And if you wish to know the number of patent filings by individual states in India, here is the list. Tamil Nadu with about 5,000, more than 5,000, then Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, Karnataka likewise. So there are few states which are contributing in some thousands. There are many states which are contributing in hundreds. And if many of you are from Odisha, or if we look into the contribution from Odisha, it is about 327 patents. Earlier, this number used to be about 140, 145, but in last few years, the number could rise to the level of 320. Whether it is Tamil Nadu, Odisha, Assam, or any other state, whether it is in thousands or hundreds, it doesn't matter. In my opinion, we need to improve further. All these numbers are very, very less. We have the potential to contribute to a greatest extent. We can contribute to some lakhs, not even thousands. We have such a great potential. The only requirement is we need to realize our potential. We need to integrate IP with research and academic practices. So this is where the lines of Swami Vivekananda really inspires us. Wisdom lies not in the amount of knowledge acquired, but in the degrees of its application. We have a large amount of knowledge, large amount of wisdom. We can create so many things. We are very intelligent. We are very knowledgeful. But unfortunately, we are happy with creating something new without realizing or without knowing what has to be done afterwards. So that is where we are struggling. We don't realize the value of protection. We don't realize the value of exploitation. So therefore, we need to realize their value. We also should know in what way we can protect our creations and to what extent we can exploit them. This path has to be followed. And when we talk about protection, IPR directly plays a very, very significant role. It is through intellectual property rights we can create or we can protect our creations. And we can create a very, very encouraging ecosystem for our academic and research practices, even the industrial practices. IPR deals with almost each and every aspect that we do come across in our day-to-day life. Trademark, brand, production, patent, invention, copyright, infringement, license, secrets, laws, industrial, social, rural, industrial, innovations, startups, entrepreneurships, MSMEs, MNCs, whatever you talk about. Yes, IPR is relevant to each and every sector, to each and every field, to each and every practice. How it is relevant? I think after looking into a few more slides, we can definitely realize its significance. And coming to the definition, WIPO, World Intellectual Property Organization, defines IP like this. It refers to creations of the mind. Intellectual property refers to creations of the mind. What do we create from the mind? We can hardly generate thoughts. Good. But it is not just generating the thoughts. Your thoughts need to be put into practice. While you put them into practice, whatever outcome you see, depending upon the kind of outcome, you may get different types of IPs. So these outcomes may be inventions, literary and artistic works. They might be symbols, names, images, designs that are used in commerce. So therefore, IP refers to creations of the mind. It is as simple as this. And here is the classification of different types of IPs. Broadly, it is of two types: copyright and industrial property. Copyrights again refers to the rights of the author and rights of the performer, whereas industrial property depends on two major aspects. One is information, the other one is innovation. Patents, trade secrets, and industrial designs, they fall under innovation category, whereas trademarks and geographical indications, they go under information. On the left-hand side, I tried to show you the different types of IPs with an example each: design, geographical indication, trademark, trade secret, copyright, and a patent. So these are the general types of IPs that are referred in a discussion on, or in any discussion on IPR. Apart from this, there are also two other kinds of IPs which I will be referring to you while talking about the time periods. Now look into this slide. It explains you the process of evolution of different types of IPs starting from ideas. By now we all know that it is the idea or a thought which serves as the source of any kind of IP that we see. So if you have an idea, if it leads to expression, you may get a copyright. Idea leading to invention or innovation, you may get a patent. Idea reflecting the quality and identity, you may get a trademark. And idea resulting into appearance, you may get an industrial design. And idea, don't disclose, keep it as a secret, do some trade, make some profit. We don't know whether you make it or not. Yes, you may generate some revenue. Preferably you will make some profit. Then it might be a trade secret. Again, I tried to show you the different types of IPs starting from ideas with an example each. And since we call it as a property, we get some rights. And this property is a contribution of human intellectual. It is called as intellectual property, and the rights are called as intellectual property rights. Then, since it is called as a property, we get rights. Yes or no? And once we get rights, we can do anything with that, right? Similar to any other kinds of properties that we hold, maybe a movable property, maybe a immovable property, maybe a traditional property, whatever it may be. In similar lines, we can also exploit intellectual property. As a property, it can be sold, it can be bought, it can be leased or rented, it can pass under will, it can also be assigned. whatever you wish, you can do because it is your property. You have right over it. But unlike other properties, intellectual property rights are not enjoyable for lifelong. Intellectual property rights are limited time enjoyment rights. There is a time limitation. This is one of the major limitation of intellectual property rights. So therefore, always please remember, any kind of IP that you get has a time limitation. If you have a bungalow, if you have an estate, if you have some cars, generation after generation, you can enjoy them. But IP is not like that. Only for certain period you can enjoy. Once the time period is complete, you no more hold the right. It can be an open property. Anyone can use it. Anyone can exploit it. And what are those timelines? The answer is here. Patents are for 20 years. Patent rights are for 20 years. After 20 years, it becomes an open property. So therefore, you should be intelligent enough to make maximum out of your patent before the expiry of 20 years term. Trademarks, designs, and geographical indications, initially 10 years, but however, there is a possibility of renewal of these IPs based on your interest. Copyrights, lifetime of the author plus 60 years, and two more kinds of IP which I was referring earlier are plant protection and integrated circuits. In America, plant protection goes under plant patents. They call them as plant patents. But in India, we do not have anything like plant patents. But however, we have a separate act called as protection of plant varieties and farmers' rights. Protection of farmers' rights and plant varieties. Okay, so this goes under Plant Protection Act. And once you develop a new plant variety, something related to plants, depending upon the guidelines suggested by Plant Protection Act, if you satisfy those criteria, you can get a plant protection. And if you get the protection, it will be valid for 15 to 18 years. Once this time period is over, you do not have any protection. Anyone can use and anyone can exploit. Similar is the case with integrated circuits. We have another act, Integrated Circuit Act, and the duration of protection given here is for about 10 years. From here, let us look into the examples for different types of IPs that we have just discussed. Let us start with the trademarks. Trademarks, as I mentioned, idea reflecting the quality and identity of a product or of a service is called as trademark. So marks on goods, service marks, certification trademarks, collective marks, well-known marks, trade names, all these are the examples of trademarks. Yahoo, Coca-Cola, Woolmark, even Zoom platform that we are doing today. So these are few more examples of the trademarks that we do come across in our day-to-day life, starting from the toothbrush to the toothpaste to many others. There are some lakhs of trademarks for every product, for every service. Sometimes we don't even find the name, only just looking into the symbol or the logo, we can make it out. That is because of intellectual property in the form of trademark. But at the same time, IP is also there in these kind of deceptive practices that are happening around. Yes, all these are original brands, Kit Kat, Coca-Cola, Ponds, Bisleri, and these are the deceptive brands. The water bottles that you purchase, maybe Bisleri, that you feel original, may not be really the original brand. It happens. In the market, there are at least about 4 types of Bisleri brands available, out of which one is original, other 3 are deceptive. So one need to be very, very careful. And even deceptive practices are based on several factors or several reasons, and IP is also one of the reasons. Now let us look into copyrights. Copyright is a legal term describing the rights given to the creators for their literary and artistic works. And look into the example of Harry Potter. J.K. Rowling is considered to be first millionaire writer of the world. She has become rich by her IP. Yes or no? And sometimes people refer J.K. Rowling as J.K. Rowling is more richer than Queen Elizabeth. Queen Elizabeth is rich by inheritance, whereas J.K. Rowling could become rich by intellectual property. Any kinds of works related to literary or textual materials, audio materials, dramatic works, artistic works, architecture, advertisements, maps, technical drawings, computer programs, databases, reference works, all these can go under copyrights. Lyrics, music, speeches, films, musical compositions, drawings, paintings, all these. See these examples: banner, poster, advertisement, painting, cartoon, sculpture, poster of a movie, textbook cover page, or even the textbook as such, musical composition, choreography, cinematographic works, computer programs, some success story banners, brochures, all these can go as copyrights. And then comes geographical indication. Name or sign used on goods originating from a specific place wherein the characteristics of those goods are attributable to that place is called as geographical indication. Darjeeling tea. Tea is grown at many places. In Darjeeling, in Assam, even in Nilgiri, many places. If you go to Darjeeling, it is called as Darjeeling tea. If you go to Assam, it is called as Assami tea. If you go to Nilgiri, Nilgiri chai, likewise. But chai is chai, tea is tea. But why Darjeeling tea? Because the tea leaves or the tea plantation happening at Darjeeling has a special reputation. That is called as Darjeeling tea. And Darjeeling tea is the very first geographical indication from India. So likewise, Mysore silk, Mahabaleshwar strawberry, Dharwad peda, Kolhapuri chappal, Kanchipuram pattu, Nagpur oranges, Agra peta. Likewise, in India, there are more than 400 registered geographical indications as on today. If I have to be the exact numbers, maybe 428 or 38 if I am not wrong, but definitely more than 400. And Tamil Nadu, Kerala, states like Tamil Nadu, Kerala, these have a large number of GIs in India. Of course, every state in India has got some geographical indications. If you ask me about Odisha, here is the list. Kandhamal Haldi, Pattachitra, Odisha Rasagulla, right? Konark stone carvings, Sambalpuri saris, all these are the examples of geographical indications from Odisha. And one more important point regarding geographical indications is, it is not an individual right. GI rights are community rights. You should frame a society that should be a registered society, and GI rights will be given to the society. All the members, part of this society, will get the rights. So therefore, please remember, GI is not an individual right, it is a collective right or community right. And any of these can go as geographical indications. Agriculture product, foodstuff, wine and spirit drink, handicraft, clothing, or any other industrial products. Any of these. By now, I think our participants are from different places, different states. By now, you can recollect the kind of product or the goods that are coming from your respective places, which might have GI. I am from Hyderabad. I can name some examples from Hyderabad. Hyderabadi biryani, Hyderabadi halim, Tirupati laddu are the examples of GI. If you are from Tamil Nadu, Tirunelveli halwa is a GI. If you are from Kerala, Alepi koir is a GI. Mysore Maligi is a GI. Madurai Maligi is a GI. If you are from Bengal, Bengali Rasagulla. If you are from Maharashtra, Puneri Pagdi. So likewise, large number of GIs are there. As I told you, there are more than 400 GIs. But India has got a potential to have at least more than some thousands of GIs. Because India is referred as a country with unity in diversity. Unity in diversity not only by means of language, not only by means of religion, not only by means of cultures and practices, it is also by means of climatic conditions. Today, the climatic condition of Bhubaneswar is different to that of Delhi, different to that of Bangalore, different to that of Ahmedabad, different to that of Mumbai, different to that of Goa or any other place. And this huge geographical diversity is a great advantage for us to come up with more number of GIs. And then comes industrial design. As if you recollect the flow chart of evolution, if you have an idea, if it results into appearance, a new appearance, you can protect under industrial design. In this kind of IP, ornamental or aesthetic aspects are only protected. No technical aspect is protected under industrial design. And this kind of IP is applicable to the products of any industry. Any industry. So take, may it be a consumer product, may it be a textile jewelry, may it be pharmaceutical or any others. So all these are appearing, which are appearing on the screen. They do hold a industrial design tag. Toothbrush, chappals, syringe, table, conical flask, textile, jewelry, all these are the examples of industrial designs. Whatever is appearing to your eyes, if it has got a new design, it can go under industrial design category. And many of these companies, they protect them under industrial design category. That is how a simple paracetamol, one company brings it in the form of a round tablet. Some other company brings it in the form of a rectangular tablet. Paracetamol is paracetamol. Chemical composition is same. Formula is same. Structure is same. Function is same. Purpose is same. But one is round, one is rectangular. Why? Both are 500 mg again. But why? Why round? Why rectangular? It is because of industrial design. One company brings it in a round fashion. That is the design protection they have. So other companies cannot bring in the same fashion. They have to bring it in other designs. So that is why we have tablets in different designs. Even syringes, even conical flasks. You see, Borosil is there and other Tensil is there. There are two suppliers. When we used to do PhD, when we were doing PhD, there used to be two major suppliers, Borosil and Tensil. If you look into the syringes, vials, glassware of these two companies, they appear to be similar but not identical. Why they are not identical? It is because of IP in the form of industrial design. So that is the impact of IP. And then comes trade secrets. These are the 4 best examples of trade secrets that anyone generally refers. Original composition of Coca-Cola is a secret since 1886. As on today, no one knows what exactly goes into Coca-Cola. Of course, lot of technological advancement has taken place. We have so many analytical instrumentation through which we can analyze the structures, compositions, but even then, people could not make it. It is a secret. And KFC original recipe is also a secret since 1940. Similar is the case with spray lubricant and also Google page rank algorithm. If you look into the secrets, by now, you should have got one query. I mentioned to you that intellectual property is limited time enjoyment right. If it is a limited time enjoyment right, why trade secrets are enjoyable for so long? Yes, there is an exception. Except for the trade secret, all other IPs are limited time enjoyment. But for the trade secret, the limitation is maintaining the secrecy. As long as you maintain the secrecy, you can enjoy your rights. You can enjoy the trade secret. You can enjoy the benefits. Once you disclose, no matter on what ground you disclosed, it is no more a secret. You cannot claim any right over it. So that is the power of trade secret. If you can maintain the secret, it may be referred as the most powerful form of IP. Otherwise, it is the most least form of IP. Then comes patents. And patents are, in general sense, be referred as contract between the government and the inventor, for which the government gives the inventor the right to exclude others from exploitation. You find a solution to the problem and you filed a patent to your solution to the patent office. Since you registered your invention in the form of a patent to the patent office, you will get some rights. Those rights are called as patent rights. Through these rights, you can stop anyone who wish to exploit your invention. That is all about patent. It's a conditional grant. It has got balance of rights and obligations. It is subject to other laws of the land and always granted to the owner or their assignee. And here are some examples of the patented inventions that the human life has witnessed. Of course, for all of us, all these examples that I'm showing on the screen might appear to be very old, very outdated, right? Yes, now they might be outdated, but whatever advanced technologies, advanced inventions that we are seeing today are an outcome of all these efforts of those days. You can see mobile phone. This was the earlier one. Now this is the current version. So washing machine, aeroplane, bicycle, motorcycle, spectacles, too many. Bulb, lamp, aeroplane, engine, rail engine. See, all these are the early inventions. All these are patented inventions. And from here, quickly I'll be showing you some examples of the patented inventions. And to my knowledge, in most of the examples, I also try to refer the corresponding patent number on the right hand bottom. So modern zipper was a patented invention of 1891. Before 1891, there was no modern zipper. And here is the patent number. Machine gun was a patented invention of 1862. And here is the patent number. And then collapsible tube was a patented invention of 1841. And here is the patent number, 1841. And friction match is an invention of 1836. A patented invention of 1836. And here is the patent number. And IP all-in-one. If you ask me to summarize, just try to recollect the definition of IP that we discussed. IP refers to creations of the mind, right? We have created. Good. IPR rights refers to the rights that we get over our creations when we registered them. Okay. And there are different types of IPs depending upon the kind of the outcome that we get from our ideas. Idea related to appearance is an industrial design. What is the appearance here? The body of the washing machine is an appearance. So it is protected as industrial design. Idea resulting into expression is a copyright. So how to use this washing machine, how to operate this washing machine, everything is expressed in the form of a booklet. That user manual can be protected as a copyright. And idea reflecting the quality and identity. It's a Bosch company's washing machine. Likewise, we have LG, Samsung, many others. So, but it is Bosch. That itself reflects the company's brand. So it's a trademark. And the technical aspects like engine, drum, their efficiency, they all may be protected as patents. We all know that there is semi-automatic and automatic. And within automatic, again, top load, bottom load. All these are technical aspects. They are protected as patents. Who knows? In the days to come, people may come up with bottom load, side load, diagonal load, all load. It can load from any place. That is quite possible. So if they really come, all those inventions may go as patents. Few more examples to add to the list. He is one of the youngest patent holder of our country, Hrideshwar Singh Bhati. He could come up with 6 variant player chess. 6 people can play chess at a time in 2012. By 2019, he could come up with 64 variant player chess. And see the world famous Michael Jackson. He himself has got a patent. Here is the patent. Methods and means for creating anti-gravity illusions. And because of his patent, no other could copy or could replicate. And if someone does, he used to get the penalties. So he also could get more monies through penalties apart from royalties. That is the power of IP. And we all know this. This used to be the case long ago. And this is the case since we started watching the cricket. And it all happened due to this person. Only because of this one individual, sensor-based term systems have come. He is the inventor of sensor-based terms. He filed patents. Now he exploits them for commercial benefit. Few more examples. Sniggly Baby Carrier, invented and patented in 1969. Pedal-powered washing machine, 2012. Barbie doll in 1959, likewise. And here is an example of a welder contributing to a remote controlled toilet bed system, for which he has been awarded with National Innovation Prize from President of India. I think this person is Saravanamuthu from Nagarkoil, Tamil Nadu. He has come up with remote controlled toilet bed system. And making biochar from human waste. Waste to wealth research is one of the popular areas now everyone is working around. And one of the Telugu states could develop a process for making biochar from human waste. They could file patents. Now they are marketing their products in more than 5-6 countries. Because this biochar will be very helpful in agriculture and horticulture sector for improving the yields of the produce. And here is another interesting story of a grandmother who is the inventor of fidget spinner. She has invented fidget spinner to engage her granddaughter. People like us who got some awareness on IP suggested her to take a patent. Good that she has taken the patent. But unfortunate part is she was not having enough money to pay for its annual maintenance. She was not having at least euro 300 to pay towards annual maintenance, because of which patent got abandoned. And once it get abandoned, it comes into the open market. Once it came into the open market, many companies started working on the fidget spinner. And today, this is the worth of spinning toy industry. In earlier cases, we have seen the examples where people could become rich by IP. And here is an example where, though she has contributed to a great invention, very useful invention, very popular invention, but she could not even make a single rupee out of her contributions, out of her efforts. So therefore, like coin has two sides, even IP has got both the sides. One need to be intelligent enough how to tap, how to exploit. If you do not have that skill, your potential IP may not fetch you anything additional. And these are some of my research works, because I thought you all may wonder, I am talking only on IP, but how to convert your research into IP? Unless you are a researcher with some practice on IP, to my knowledge, it would be very difficult for you to convert your research into patents. Luckily, by the time our research group thought of making some IPs, I could get some working experience on IP along with some training programs, which helped us in converting our research works into patents by our own efforts. We have not taken any external help from anyone, because I know how to conduct the research. I also know how to write the patent, how to search the patent, how to file the patent. It is through this process we could able to convert our research works into patentable outcomes in an easy manner. So a nimbolite is a natural product. Of course, I understand there are many people from plant sciences background here, and it is through plants we can get large number of natural products, which might also have some medicinal properties, biological properties. In those lines, in one of our literature survey, we could find nimbolite as one of the natural product which is very efficient towards anti-cancer activity. Being synthetic organic chemist, we could design and develop few more analogs over the natural nimbolide, and we could screen all those analogs with reference to the nimbolide. Luckily, one of the analog was showing much better activity in comparison to the nimbolide itself. That is where we thought we should expand our biological studies, and we also thought of filing patents. We could file patents, and patents have been granted in India as well as in US, and in other countries they are under processing. This is the example which I would really wish to discuss further, because this is the very first work for which we thought of filing patents. And at that time, the objective for filing patents was only one. It is to get some numbers so that we can put them into our CVs wherever we go. While people read our profiles, they can also reflect some patent numbers. That was the only intention or the objective while we thought of converting this work into a patentable outcome. Because by then I was having working experience both in terms of research as well as IP. We thought, okay, let us do one effort. Let us put some efforts. But luckily, after 5 years, we filed patents in 2015. After 5 years, in 2019, we could license all those 4 patents to Sun Pharma. And Sun Pharma has paid 5 crores to IICT as a royalty. And now later stage activities are happening at Sun Pharma. If everything goes well, this is the expected value or projected value of income to IICT through this patent. And we could license this work to Sun Pharma because it has been protected through patents. Otherwise, we would have published it in Nature or Science or somewhere else. But though we filed them in Nature, its future might have been not explored further, right or not? Of course, after making patents, we could also publish them in other journals. But it is only because it is a patent, we could license it. And through this licensing pact, we could earn some revenue. And these are the front pages of the patents from our works. This is the one referring to the work which has been licensed to Sun Pharma. And this work is on process for preparation of nicotine. These both are granted patents from America. Few more works. Spiroxyndole compounds as GSK3B inhibitors. Again, as an organic chemist, we try to design and develop new molecules for various applications. Even similar is the case with HDOC inhibition application. And same is the case with SMAR1 stabilization application. So, being an organic chemist, we always try to collaborate with biology people to explore the biological activities. And wherever we find some use potential or something new, we always try to file patents. And these are the PCT applications for our works, which I just referred. This is for HDOC inhibition work. This is for GSK3B inhibition work. And for the discussion that we made here, we could know that IP is an integral part of any research or academic activity, and it can bring us a lot of profitable outcomes. And to summarize further, it is the innovation which distinguishes between a leader and a follower. Luckily, everything starts with an idea. It is the idea which serves as a seed. The seed is the idea. If your seed is strong, it can grow, it can grow, it can grow and multiply to the greatest extent. So therefore, this need has to be a very, very potential seed that we can refer as a smart idea. Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. If you have this idea, definitely you should own it. Why? To become a leader. How do you become a leader? By contributing to innovations. And here is the impact of a leader versus follower. And this is how only few countries are referred as advanced economies. All others are not advanced yet. They're trying to become advanced, but not yet. Here is the difference. So always we need to try to be on this side. To be on this side, we need to put efforts. We need to struggle. But without doing anything also, we can be on this. Because there are only two roles. One is this, the other one is this. If you are not a leader, definitely by default, you will be a follower. You need not worry. And this would be the scenario if you do not have IP assets. Big will eat small, small will eat further small. Being small is so dangerous without IP. And if you have IP, whatever small you may be, you can fight, you can rise, you can resist, you can retain, you can stand on your own. Whatever small you may be, you can still face anyone. That is the power of IP. It's a very high time. Whether we realize the value or not, we are already into a very high time. It is like the times of 1942, where the slogan was do or die. Luckily, our freedom fighters could do it. We could get the freedom. Now we are surviving with great freedom. Yes or no? Great liberty. And similar is the case today. Die part is the same. The do part has slightly changed. This is all about innovate. If we innovate, we are going to be remembered further. If you do not innovate, we would be definitely ignored. So to be remembered or to be ignored is in our hands. If we innovate, we will be remembered further. If we do not innovate, we will be definitely ignored. So what we wish to give it to the future generation is all in our hands. So therefore, we should definitely innovate, because that is what that has been practiced by our earlier generations. Since they could fight, we could get the freedom. They could do, we could get the freedom. Now we need to innovate. Innovation is all about doing. We need to do the things in a different manner. We need to do the things which are productive. We need to do the things which are profitable. Through these ways, we can certainly see some great change. But what is the rationale? How do we do this? If you always do what you always did, you will always get what you always got. Get up, get ready, go to the college or go to the office, come back, take dinner, sleep well, again get up, go, come, get up, go, come. If this happens to everyone, every day, every year, every decade, every generation, every era, I think there won't be any change at all. So we need to come out of these regular practices. Of course, regular practices are very much required. But in addition to this, we also need to think something new, something different. Once you start doing something different, then there is a great scope. Here we propose a strategy which we refer as aligning capabilities. We do have, even our practices have got all kinds of capabilities. The only requirement is we need to integrate them, we need to align them. Once we do this, certainly we can do wonders. And to simplify it further, the only one thing that we need to practice is whatever research we conduct, before publishing it in a high impact journal, we should look for it potentiality for patents. If you find so, you should take an IP first, take a patent first. After taking the patent for the same work, you can publish. So therefore, it is like 1+1 offer, provided if you take an IP first. If you don't take IP, you will never get IP after publication. So therefore, please believe me, IP has to be taken first. Once you take an IP, you can also get a publication for the same work. But if you reverse it, second thing is not going to happen. And here is an inspiration for a researcher. Professor Robert Langer from MIT has got more than 1,500 papers. He has got more than 800 patents. His patents were licensed to more than 200 companies. He himself has built about more than 25 companies. We don't know whether he's a man or machine. But believe me, people like Robert Langer are not in ones or tens. They're in hundreds or thousands in the countries like US, Japan, Korea, which we generally refer them as superpowers. And innovation is a key for success. Innovation is the key for success. countries or societies or organizations or individuals who are innovative in their practices could certainly emerge as leaders. So that is where our slogan is also modified. Now the new slogan is Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, Jai Vigyan, and Jai Anusandhan. Anusandhan is all about innovation. It is the innovation which drives towards the progress. So therefore, our research orientation has been towards making impact factor publication first. Yes, we need to do this. We need to definitely do this. But if we only do this and be happy, maybe that is not correct. In today's scenario, that is not at all correct, because now the world is moving towards innovations. Now the era is referred as innovation era. So therefore, in addition to the existing practice of making publications, we also need to be reoriented towards India first, innovation first, and IP first. Whatever activity we take up, it should add value to our country. Whatever works we carry out, there should be some or other innovativeness. Wherever there is a possibility, we should take an IP first. By doing these three, along with the existing practice of making publications, we can contribute more. We can see a great progress. And in similar lines, now CSR logo has been slightly modified, and it is referred as the innovation engine of India. Of course, innovation is the main component of activities with respect to CSR, but however, now the logo, through logo also it is reflected. And these are some memorable interactions that I could have with eminent people in science and technology from India and abroad. And with this, I just stop here. Thank you all very much. And I hope we have done a reasonable justification for the session today. I just stop here now, and we can take up queries.
Thank you, sir. Lots of appreciation you have received. Lots of many people are asked. This is a very demanding topic and relevant topic, because this is the first time we are doing such discussion in Bioingene.
Okay.
And as expected, many people are from plant backgrounds, so their questions is related to that. Here, few interesting questions are available. A few questions are just for the time frame, means how many years is you already covered in your slides, and it's also available in different source, even in Google. So we are focusing different few questions first, then we will discuss a little bit more which is not covered in these questions. So first is Shubhankar Mohanty. He asks that identification of a candidate gene or unique gene which is stress tolerance in can be patentable. Means I think he is asking a gene he isolated from a plant, it can be patentable.
See, I think for me it would become very difficult to answer because it appears to be a little complex query for me. Yes. I'm not basically from biological science background, but based on my knowledge on IPR, anything that is available in nature or driven from nature is not patentable directly.
Exactly.
But however, there is a Biodiversity Act. If you can go through that act in detail, there are certain sequences which may be allowed for patenting. If your example falls under that, yes, it might be. Otherwise, no.
Exactly. And I just wanted to add something with your views. Yes, directly it's not patentable because it's already in nature. And so there is just isolations part is there. But it can be patentable if there is some mutation done by using your intellectual property. Sometimes some mutations like point mutations or some combinations, like you add a promoter on before of the gene, so make it unique in that way. So that can be patentable in this form. But not directly anything can patentable. another questions asks that if idea when he apply for patent, but unfortunately due to some technical reason is not granted. But peoples or companies are already seen your patent, and they can, if they are using this patent because you're not getting the patent and they are modifying or using your idea, then how you protect it and what is the legal consequences on that?
See, generally what happens is you have filed the patent, okay, and after 18 months from filing, patent will be published in the Gazette. Once it get published, it will be open for anyone. Anyone can refer, anyone can read, anyone can know, anyone can come to know about your invention. If your patent gets granted, then only you get the rights. Suppose by whatever reason it may be, if your patent is not granted, you do not have any rights over there.
Exactly.
It is equivalent. Now it becomes equivalent to a publication or an article that you publish. Maybe just by looking into your published work, if they are unable to if they are unable to practice or get that product, in that case they may contact you, and if you have something to deal with them, you can make a deal. Otherwise it is not that easy. Otherwise it is not that easy.
Exactly. And let's finish this question first, then we'll discuss. I have some thought on that also.
Fine.
Someone asks that Muhammad Ansalan Ali, can I trademark a name or slogan that already be used but not registered? So I think he wanted to register something which is popular with but in his name. So what?
No, my answer is no. If you do that unnecessarily, you go into more and more conflicts, and you will definitely lose. Why? Because if it is already see, for trademark, you might have noticed the slide on timelines. Trademark and copyright registration is not mandatory.
Yes.
Without registration also, it can be called as a trademark, it can be called as a copyright. Okay.
Yes.
But it is always suggestible to register. Whenever it goes into conflict, always there is a need of supportive evidence. Okay. And to face any kind of legal battles, if you register it, you would be on safer side and everything would be available for you. Okay. So therefore, my answer is no. Already a existing popular slogan or name, you cannot use. Better not to use. If you use, you have to face the consequences.
One question is very naive questions, but definitely maybe any students from India asking that is there options to apply US patent being as citizens of India?
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
Definitely. I told you now, I have about 43 patents, out of which 27 are granted. Out of 27 patents, we have large number of patents in India, and we have, I think, about 8 or 9 patents are granted in US for us. You can definitely, anyone can file patents in any other countries. But you have to follow the guidelines. They have to follow the examination guidelines and all those things. According to the proper procedure, you can definitely do that.
Yes, sir. One question was there that someone asked that Partho Mandal asking that he noticed that same thing is patentable in US and also patentable in UK. How it is possible?
Yes. Why? Because see, if you have seen my own example, I told you we filed patent in 2015 for one of our work. Being a citizen of India, we need to file in India first. If you don't wish to file in India, you have to take permission from patent office to file abroad directly. Okay. After filing in India, the same work can be filed in US, in UK, and in any number of countries whichever you wish. Title can be same because it is the same invention in multiple countries. The reason being, IP rights are territorial in nature. Okay. If you get patent in India means you have rights only in India. someone in other countries, without your permission also, they can use it.
Yes.
If you wish to stop them, you have to file a patent there also. You have to get a patent there. So therefore, being a territorial right, one can file patents in any countries of their wish by following their rules and guidelines.
Okay. And another questions was there. I'm just searching that questions that the renewable cost, because here the question, it's okay, patentable is patent filing is okay, but there is also come with the cost.
Yes.
So the renewable cost means he want to understand about the renewable cost. So if rough idea about the cost in India.
See, renewal cost, patent renewal cost, cost in India is very, very economic. Okay. And if you are from academic institute, all kinds of patent fees are given an 80% reduction.
Okay.
Okay. So 1600 is the filing fees, 4000 is the examination fees. And when it comes to renewal cost, it will, first few years it will be in some hundreds. Next few years it will be in some thousand, maybe 1200 first 3 years, then 2000 in next 3 years, and again 5000. So likewise, for the entire duration of 20 years, all kind of costs related to that patent would be around 80 to 85,000.
Okay.
For 20 years period of time. And for others, like this is for startups, individuals, as well as academic institutes. And for the people like us who are from R&D institutes or industries, it would be much higher than that. It will come around 4 to 5 lakhs.
Okay.
Otherwise, patenting generally there is a misconception that patenting activity is a very expensive activity. That is how people generally do not wish to do that. Please believe me, patenting activity is not at all a very, very expensive activity. It is one of the most economic activity and most relevant activity. Because whenever you get a research project, there will be a grant for each component, right? IP is one of the major component. And if you have IP, you can attract licensing or you can attract exploitation. If you do that commercialization, you can make more and more profits. So therefore, somehow a misconception is there in our practices about patents, but no, patent is not at all a costly affair. It is one of the economic affair.
Okay. And is there any course on IPR, as you mentioned already, and did it many courses? And same questions, same person also asked that, is there any option to do PhD in IPR?
Yes, there are several courses on IPR. The most popular course, the most popular course on IPR is like PG diploma in IP, which is offered by many universities, starting from NALSA to national law universities to the state universities, even some central universities, even IGNOU, all they offer. And all these courses are distance mode courses. You need not go on regular basis. Even if you wish also, the such course is not there. It is a distance kind of course. Apart from this, there is LLM in IPR. There is Rajiv Gandhi Intellectual Property Center. Rajiv Gandhi Center for Intellectual Property Rights at IIT Kharagpur. They do conduct a written test and followed by LLB for engineering graduates. And we all know that law courses do have IPR specialization, but of course not in LLB, but in LLM, you have a dedicated course, LLM in IPR. And PhD, yes, definitely possible in IPR.
Okay. And sir, I want to just you already mentioned it, but for us to for the help for our students or the young participants, I just wanted to clear one thing: is if someone try to start his research journey on plant science, and there is many different field of plant science. One is you already covered medicinal plant or some medicinal value components, so it's okay, it's patentable. Already also covered that there is options of patentable patent of a gene if it is modified or new something new. Another option is patent a method, because most of the cases people researchers are doing and modifying the protocols to make it workable in his field or his plant. So what happened if someone tried to patent or a protocol methods of patent? What should be differences should be there? Means patentability in aspect of patentability aspect. What is will be the difference between the pre-existing protocol and their new protocol? So it encourages.
See here, methods are definitely patentable provided if they satisfy the patentability criteria. Methods are they come under process patents. A method or a process of any field can get an eligibility for filing a patent if it satisfies the patentability criteria of novelty, utility, and non-obviousness. And in case of plant sciences, suppose if you isolate a component, the method of isolation can go as a patent, provided if the method is new, or if at least if it involves one or two new components or new elements in the process, that can be patentable.
Okay.
See, any new method can be patentable. Any improvement, any significant improvement in the new existing method can also be patentable.
Okay.
And in fact, large number of patents were getting filed for the improvements of the existing works than the new works.
Okay. Okay.
All over the world.
So addressing the previous work is not a problem.
Not a problem.
Okay.
But whatever new thing you are introducing, that new thing should be significantly new, not just new.
Okay. And I just curious about to understand when those people are searching the patent or they are granted the patent, how they capable, means how they know, because it's not mandatory that they are scientists, because they are different field. Because I know the how India recruit the patent officers and all this is a general exam, and general background people are also appear for that particular exam. So obviously there are a lot of diversity in their knowledge, but if there is a scientific knowledge, then how it is covered up?
Right. I think you have raised a very, very relevant question, very important question. Of course, all queries are relevant, but you have raised a very important. Many people may not be aware of how this process happens at a patent office. See, a patent office gives a notification, like we get notification through UPSC. In similar lines, a notification comes from the patent office for the examination of patent examiners. I think there was a recent notification also for which timeline has just completed, and examination is going to happen in another 2 or 3 months maximum. Further, the eligibility is if you are from for chemistry related patents, they recruit chemistry related people only. So MSc for sciences, BTech or BSc, BTech or BE for engineering. This is the minimum qualification. They have to apply. They have to go through a written examination. Then they will conduct the interview. Based on this criteria, they will select the examiners. And if your patent is from biological sciences, it will go to an examiner of that field only. If you are from plant science, may not be exactly the person of plant science, but definitely to the biological sciences person. Okay, biotechnology, genetics, whatever it may be, biology science, biological sciences. So if I'm a chemistry person, my patent will be examined by a person who has got specialized in chemistry, working at the patent office. Okay, they'll give some few months of training. There are several databases which are specifically available to the patent offices to search in. Whenever you apply a patent, while examination, they'll read your invention. They'll use those databases to search in whether this invention is already known or not. If it is known, to what extent it is known, what are the relevant references, all that they will pull it up.
Okay.
But another thing is, they may not be as experienced as you in terms of research. Sometimes people with research experience, if they qualify in the exam, they'll get that post. Sometimes people without research experience, because the qualification is only MSc.
Exactly.
At MSc, hardly we have any research experience. So that examiner's capability, yes, certainly they do have different levels of capability. Maybe over the period of time, they develop that, and the process is going on.
Okay. And sir, if some patent is not granted, but the reason is not right, then there is an option to argument with patent.
Yes, 100%, 100%. See, when you file a patent, you will get after examination, you will get the first examination report. There, you will get so many objections. They will say, because of this, we are this. Because of this, we are this. So look into those references. If they are fine for you, then you may accept your objection. You may accept those objections. If it is not, then you can justify. No, this is what is mentioned there, but ours is this. You need to give a reasonable justification, and you can further request them to go for re-examination. Even if you are not satisfied with that, you can also go for hearing. You can opt for hearing. You can go right in front of them, and you can justify your
views and data.
Yes. Okay. All these are there.
And if it is not patented or it's rejected, then the same concept, if someone try to patent in USA, obviously if there no patentability, it's also not patented there. But if someone wanted to do that okay, India rejected, I wanted to patent in USA, then again he or she need to get permission from patent office, or they are rejected, so I can patent it anywhere?
No, I think see, what happens is filing in other countries also has got a timeline.
Okay.
Today you file in India, within 12 months, at any case, either you have to file in US directly, or you have to opt a PCT for filing in other countries. Okay. So within 1 year of time, you need to decide whether you wish to apply abroad or not. If the 12 months time period is over, means you cannot apply anywhere in other countries. Okay. Within the 12 months, you need to decide.
Okay. And this 12 month is also there where we can apply for a patent and publish our data.
Yes, sir. See, once you apply your patent, you get your priority. Yes. So, आपने आज apply कर दिए patent. So, on today's date, your priority is maintained. Okay. So, whenever you wish, you can publish your work in any of the interested journal of your choice. You can do that, and we have done it.
Okay, and there is no need to wait for whether it's patent or not, because just I have a pre-approval.
Yes. You need not
submission.
Wait. No, you need not wait. You need not wait, because already you got the priority from today. Okay. And anyway, you will be publishing your work after today only. So then your priority is retained.
Okay. And if there is no conflict now, because when the patent officer going to search the new idea, and they can also see my paper.
Yeah, definitely they will trace out your paper, but when they trace out your paper, they just look into the date.
Okay.
If the date of publication is before the date of filing of your patent, then certainly it will be a problem for you.
Okay.
But if your publication is after the date of filing of the patent, then no.
Okay. And when we go for the publications, we may or may not disclose that we already patented this technology. So it's the option.
Yes, it is not mandatory that you should mention. No, not like that.
Okay. Because for the funding, it's mandatory. You have to mention the fund. Yes, but for the patent office, they are not required any.
Generally, no, as such, there is no rule that definitely you should mention like that. It's not there. It's all up to you.
And always there is a question, and just I got a questions from Darshana Patra, that why it take so many long time to grant it.
See, I understand that, yes, in India it takes a little longer time in comparison to other countries, but as such, the general process of patent filing followed by publication and examination itself is a lengthy process. The day you file is called as filing date, and it after 18 months it gets published in any country. And after that it goes for examination, or all that will happen. So in most of the countries it takes about 2 years for granting the patent. In India it takes about 3 to 4 years. Sometimes earlier it used to take even more. But there is also a possibility that if you really wish, and if there is a potential for your patented invention, your patent can be granted in about 3 to 6 months. Likewise, you can opt for early publication. Instead of 18 months, it can be published within a month or two by paying little more money. Like Tatkal passport.
Yes.
Tatkal passport, you have to pay a little more, and similar way, expedite examination. So whatever time period is more, you can reduce it by going for early or expedite processes. By that way, you can reduce the timeline. But though it takes longer time to grant your patent, if your patent gets granted, from the day of its publication, you can retrieve all your benefits. That is possible. So therefore, there is no need to worry about that part.
And licensing is a different, because I have a patent and I want to sell it in a company. So it's not no relation to patent officer and all, because I have a
there is no relation to patent office. So many people will ask me, Pawan ji, हमारा patent हो गया, कब पैसा मिलेगा? अरे then I really wonder, अगर ऐसा है तो सब लोग patent ही करना शुरू कर देते थे. Right?
Exactly.
So many people still believe that patent ho gaya to it is the patent office which will give you money. No. It is solely your responsibility. License, commercialization of patents, and filing and processing of patents are two different aspects. You can commercialize your invention without a patent. You can also commercialize your invention with a patent. Having a patent for your invention will bring more impact, more trust, develop
more security.
More security.
So, sir, because we in Bioingene we also discuss ethics. So now I have questions which related to patent and ethics. Patent also be a multi-authors or multi-inventors are there. In our research, we first author, second author, third author. For patent, how it is decided?
Right. Again, very, very important one. This, unlike publications, in patents, there is no discrimination or no special significance except for the means of communication between any inventors. Whether your name is first, middle, last, or last but one, whatever it may be, patent belongs to each and everyone. Suppose your name is the first name in the patent. My name is the 50th name, and there are about 100 inventors. The person whose name is first, whose name is 50, whose name is 100, all can claim that it is my patent. See, in my own examples, if you look into those patents, my name is not there as a first name, but it is my patent. I can claim it is my patent. Everyone can claim it as their patents. But what happens in publication? If you are first author or corresponding author, then only it can be referred as your publication. Being a second author, third author, or any other author, you are like a side hero, not
co-authors.
Right?
Co-authors.
So like you are a so such kind of practice is not there in patents.
So if there is a contribution of patent filing fees and all, so it's also distribute similarly for the every authors, no?
Yes. It all depends on you. So, if 10 people have worked towards the invention, maybe sometimes in most of the institute will support. In some cases, the team, they themselves come forward for filing the patent. They may contribute individually to the fullest fees, or they may have their own guidelines or own agreements or own these things accordingly. See, at the end of the day, you have to file the patent with the prescribed fees. How do you manage that fees is your responsibility. And what kind of terms that you make out among your team members or between your institute and your team, it all depends on you.
Okay.
Okay.
So, and it also come into the manage of the fees. So I have a questions on that. That uh, as you mentioned that there is a some tatkal or urgency basis of fees.
Yes.
So as you work on institute, I am also working on institute. So institutes give the fees generally for patent filing fees. Institute does gives these type of fees also, that tatkal and all, or it's not?
Yes. If
Uh,
institute, see, you need to convince your institute that yes, this work has got high potential and it has to be pursued at the earliest.
okay. Okay.
So then certainly they will give.
Okay.
Yes.
So it manageable.
Yeah,
It's
it is
manageable
manageable.
in
Yeah, it is
it.
definitely manageable. It is
Okay.
definitely manageable.
Mhm. And sometime like in case of yours, what did you change your institute? So when we are changing our institute or moving to others locations, but for the patent credibility, it's yours. It
Yes.
can't. Yeah, for the institute, it's not the institute because the name the patent is the institute, but inventor is you.
Yes.
So there is a two things in the patent. One is the inventor and one is a patentee. Well, means who take the patent.
Owner.
So
Owner.
owner. So
Right.
just a little bit focus on that, so
Yes.
we can
Yes.
conclude it.
See, what happens is in terms of patents, always the ownership goes to the assignee or applicant. Okay.
Okay.
So if you are associated with an institute, always ownership lies with the institute. The people who have contributed, they are called as inventors.
Hmm.
Of course, when your patent attracts some commercial benefits, according to the institute norms, those monies will be distributed as per the guidelines.
Okay.
But when you change the institute, suppose you change the institute after some time,
Hmm.
that patent you can still refer it as your patent, but your new institute name cannot go into that patent because
Okay.
that patent is owned by the
Hmm.
earlier institute. That is the property of your earlier institute, where you are part of that property.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So, sir, lots of appreciation still we are getting because these are the relevant questions, and we have a problem on that. I just another part that we are not efficient to write the patent. You have a training, but generally we don't have a training on that. So when we planning to start a patent, where what is the point where we can go or we can discuss that I have a patentable idea? Is it okay for patenting or not? Trustable, because trust is mandatory here. So can you suggest us?
Right. I understand this is the most toughest thing for any academician and researcher in general practice because we don't have any kind of training or nurturing in our academic programs on these aspects, right?
Yes.
To establish that, we need to conduct a patent search. Like suppose whenever you take up a new research work, you always try to do literature or background search, right?
Yes.
In similar lines, one need to perform a patent search.
Hmm.
By conducting patent search, we will get to know whether the same invention is already present or not. If
Okay.
yes, to what extent it is relevant. All this information we can find there.
Hmm.
Apart from that, by looking into those referred documents, we can get an idea on how we can design our own patent. All this information learning we can get from this practice.
Hmm.
So therefore, one need to attend several programs on patent search and analytics.
Hmm.
By that way, one can get into that. Otherwise, you can also get some help from intellectual property facilitation centers. Even TIFAC is there. Every state has got a IPFC, Intellectual Property Facilitation Center. Even patent information centers are also there, run by the state governments, departments of science and technology councils. So all these people will also help. And to what extent that help would be impactful, I may not be able to tell because it all depends upon the kind of experience, the
Hmm.
kind of ability those people working in those institutes are having.
Hmm. Exactly.
And to add to this, we are also conducting several programs on dedicated programs on patent search and analytics.
Yes, yes.
Maybe
Yes.
we can also join hands with some other agencies to make it as a joint program on patent search and analytics in the days to come.
Yes, sure, sir. Because patent charge is very nominal. It's okay. It's official. But filing a patent through the lawyers and through sometimes it's chargeable. It's
No, not sometimes. All times. Generally, see, as I told you, there is a misconception that patent practice is a very, very costly affair. The costly affair is not because of the fees with respect to the patent practice. It is because of the charges that we provide for the services that we take. Maybe to the lawyers, maybe to the patent agents, maybe to the patent service firms or law firms or others.
Yes.
So
yes, and combinedly it make a expensive.
yes, combinedly it makes a big expenditure.
I hope so, because these things is so much important nowadays. Is maybe included in our college and school syllabus, that basics of patent and patentability ideas. So we in Bioingene we try to add something like in that way. Already I can see your impact of the talk. Some joy. This session will be truly helpful for me for file a patent on a good manufacturing technique very soon based on my wife's scientific invention. Grateful to Bioingene. So people are interesting and people are motivating from your talk. So sir, just last questions, and is a great talk. We are appreciating, and I know because I already seen your talk and presentations is so interactive, or so examples are so real that anybody can relate with that. uh, Last question is to me. You are training by training. You was a chemist,
Yes.
but I can see I know your passion about this patent and patentability, and to give the knowledge of your knowledge to others like us and like everyone. So how it is come into your field, because you are chemist, but yes, there is a point where you do a 2 years job in a company. I think it's a patent company. So are they the main stimuli, or how you can enter this field?
Yes, maybe I'll take a minute or two to explain this. See, I was like a regular researcher.
Yes.
Who goes to an institute and work for PhD. Until I completed my PhD, I was not having any awareness on IP except for the titles. I only know IP means intellectual property, IPR means intellectual property rights. Apart from this, I don't know anything. I don't even know there are different types of IPs also. Okay. But what happened? I have submitted my thesis. At that time, Telangana Andhra issue was going on. As a stopgap, I was applying for postdocs also, but I was planning to go for a postdoc only after obtaining my PhD degree. And as a stopgap arrangement, I had to work in an IP company. Of course, for that offer, I did not try. Offer came, I thought, okay, if something is coming, why can't we make an attempt? So with great hesitation, I made that attempt. And initially for about 15-20 days, I was very much reluctant just to go, come, अरे ठीक है बोल दो वो कल से मत आओ बोले तो भी चलेगा. That much reluctant I was. But after 3-4 weeks, I could realize that somehow IP learnings or IP practices are ignored or neglected by academic and research sectors in India.
Yes, yes.
I was talking to my seniors, colleagues, faculties, supervisors, and other things. They are also not aware of any of these things. And believe me or not, the company owner was BSc chemistry person. There were about more than 150 employees. Majority of them are graduates or postgraduates from IITs, engineering graduate or postgraduate from IITs, IIT Kharagpur, IIT Kanpur, all these things. Or if there are from PhD, there are some PhDs from very reputed institutes. And there are people who got abroad training and started working there. Then I thought, what is this? On one side, I was thinking I completed my PhD. Now I am one of the greatest person on this. Now I got the greatest degree on the globe and all these things I was thinking. On the other hand, 150 people with big degrees, great experience, great knowledge are working with a person, BSc chemistry, because of whom all they are surviving. Then I thought there is something to be explored. So since then I became very sincere, and whatever energy I used to put for my research, I put same energy for doing that work also. Whether you believe me or not, even we used to stay until late nights, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the early morning. Wow. Of course, they were not expecting us to stay such long, but we are researchers now. Anyway, we have that habit.
Yes,
So why can't we learn more in shorter time? And in about 18 months, I could work on more than 88 projects. Spanning of chemistry, biotechnology, agriculture, food technology, even engineering fields also. And I pursued PG diploma in patents law from Nalsar. And I gained decent experience. By that time, I got my postdoc, and I thought of going to postdoc, and then DST announced the DST Inspire Faculty scheme. We are the first batch. Opted for Inspire Faculty. Then my PhD supervisor told, you got some experience on patents. I was also planning to file patent, but somehow I could not do since long. From last 15-20 years, he was planning, but he could not do. So then I thought, when your PhD supervisor calls, then TK accept and go, because I was having my own fellowship. I joined there. Then we started integrating my patent practices with research activities as a team. Then most of our research work has been focused now towards collaborative work. And then in about 2 or 3 years, we started filing patents. That is how I could get a parallel practice of patents about a decade back. Parallelly, I also started teaching on IP for PhD coursework, MTech coursework, postgraduate courseworks. So it could give me a possibility of academic teaching, research, integrating IP with research. And I also parallelly pursued several courses. Wherever I see some course or some training program happening on IP, I used to apply and go there. During those times, I did not attend any conferences related to chemistry. Rather, I used to prefer attending conferences because we have limited budget. So with the available budget, always I used to attend courses or trainings on IPR only. With that, now I got almost an equal expertise of both research as well as IP.
And it's make you unique. I know how IMT enjoy your service there, and your professions, your expertise is now very unique, and it's also motivate us being a scientist, being a researcher, and a strong knowledge on patent, because we avoid it because we don't know it. So today is the start of our journey in patent. I'm sure I'll get your help to manage the speakers on this topic. So in future, we also introduce some topics, specific topic. Today it was the wholesome idea about everything. Right. Now we are trying to how to file, how to search in that way. So I will contact you, and definitely I'm preparing 2-3 patent for my research also. I'm just on it, working on it, and I found it has some capability to patentable. So I can introduce, I can discuss with you when it's required.
Sure, I really appreciate it.
Yes, and so not only me, all the viewers, all the participants I'll welcome you to let's start your research in the patentable your research. Try first. If it is not, what else? You can also publish it. So we should try first patent it. If it is some patentability, if there is not, so they can also guide us some suggestions, no? So that we can understand that these things we missed. So those are from the institutes. They definitely, because their money also give by the institute. They don't no need to spend any money on that. So if there is something patentable, go for it. If it is patentable, it's a good idea. If it's not patentable, then publication is always open, because it's either way it's not possible. So for patent, then publication is the only way. And don't bother about the time, because you have an application number and you can use it for any applications for your job and for your postdocs and all. So as sir already mentioned, that we are always we not bother about the licensing. Sometimes we not bother about the what is the feasibility of patent. Sometimes we just bother about the to fill something in the patent form, because otherwise we have to put it 0 or nil in application form. So yes, whatever the reason, we should start. We should start our research to patentable. For plant science, there is lot of options. We also have options of GI tag also. So if many things are not GI tag, if there is something which is related to that field, so we can initiate the GI tag. It also help to others, specifically for workers and farmers, because they don't have the capability or expertise on that type of requirement in GI tag. So it's a great pleasure, sir. I'm waiting for a long time for your presentations. That's a great. Yeah, the 2 hours is a compact. Many people, you can find the appreciation in our YouTube recording is there. Lots of appreciation, presentation wise, excellent discussions, and your knowledge, mainly your knowledge on that and hold on that. Yes, you are great asset, not only for IMT, it's also India and for also us. Uh, Thank you, sir. And please knock us when you plan to collaborate something. Our participants, I can move. We can also share your skin in Bioingene if it is possible in that, because it's not for India, it's also for Asia and South Asian country. Lots of people from Pakistan, Philippines, Bangladesh are commented today's webinar. Thanks, sir. Thanks once again.
As usual, I'm again blown away by your presentation. You're always my favorite speaker on IPR, all-time favorite.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr.
Thank you.
Shubhrata and Soma, for your kind feedback, and thank you very much. And the kind of queries that were discussed today were really fruitful. That itself reflects the kind of interest and enthusiasm the participants are having.
Yes.
And hopefully we all collectively could contribute to a very, very productive session.
Yes.
And we should also appreciate the participants.
Yes.
And more for you, and also equally to participants. Thank you.
Thanks. Yes, participants are they are benefited, and we love to if they are benefited from our sessions. Thanks, sir. It's all about today's webinar. Namaste, sir. Namaste.
Thank you, and wish you all the very best. And hope to see some potential IPs coming.
Yes, sir. Definitely.
From both of you as well as from all the participants. And whenever you come with a new IP, please do post us so that we'll also feel happy.
Yes, definitely, sir. Definitely. Yes. Thanks, sir. Soma, now I'm going to end the sessions. Okay. Okay, sir. Bye.
Bye.